Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamtastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So today we are going to look at the November paper pumpkin kit. So I'm going to share just a couple alternatives with you guys. This was a really cute little kit that had a variety of different treat boxes that you could make. So this is what the treat boxes looked like. But I decided to turn all of those treat boxes into little cards. So you know me. I like to create cards. So I'm going to show you how to take these little treat boxes, and this is kind of what the treat box looks like. So it's all pre-scored and everything for you to create these cute little treat boxes. But we're going to take these treat boxes and we're going to cut them apart, and we're going to make some standard size cards from these treat boxes. And then I'm going to show you some other ways that you can use the exclusive stamp set that comes in this kit to create some other fun little cards. So good morning, everybody. So this is the stamp set that came in the kit. So I'll be using this particular image to create some cards. And then there's a variety of other images that you can use for card making or, to decorate your little treat boxes. So we're going to start out with the treat boxes. So what I did is I took this treat box. So there's two different kinds. So there's this kind, and then there is this kind. So I took these treat boxes and I cut them apart. So I'm going to show you how I did that. We'll do just one. I'll just show you how to cut it apart because it's basically the same for both, when you cut them apart. But the one I turned into a little easel style card, so fun fold. And then, so this is like the front of the house, and this is the back of the house. So I just used the back of the house to create just a standard size card. So let me show you how I did this. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. So basically, I just cut in front of all these little score lines just to kind of cut apart the house here. So I'm just going to line this up the best I can and just make this cut. And I have to cut off the top part here. This is with the treat box, this folds over. This back part folds over. But since we're not making a treat box, I'm just going to cut this hopefully right in the center here. And I'm actually going to use this to give my second card a little bit of depth and dimension. So I cut off the little house. I got that one done. And then here is the other side. So the treat boxes were double-sided, the front and back of the house. So that was really kind of cute. So here's the other little house. And then I took this little piece, I just cut it down. So I cut off these little score lines here. And I ended up cutting it down to 1¼ inches. So we're going to use this little piece here for the easel card. All right, so let me get my pieces set up here so I get this straight. Okay, so we're going to create the easel card first. I have all the pieces for the easel card put, right here. So I started with just a 4¼ by 11-inch piece of white cardstock. And then I scored it at 2¾ and then 5½. So that's how you create this easel part of the card. And then I just embossed this section of the card, just added the little snowflakes using the snowflake sky die, not die, embossing folder. And then I really just added the houses to the front so that we could, kind of pop these up and create a little easel style card with it. So I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back. Now, the thing about an easel card is I don't want to adhere this completely flat. Otherwise, my house will bend when I stand it up in the easel position. So I'm going to put dimensionals up to like this little section of the house where these little pieces hang out. these little end pieces here, the little notches, I guess you could call them. So we'll just add a couple dimensionals and we'll just pop this up. So this was probably the easiest easel card I have ever made. So let's put that on there. Now, of course, you can use this kit as intended, and you can just make, the little treat boxes, but I wanted to do something a little bit different and just create some standard size cards. I think I might have put that on there crooked, but that's all right. All right, so that's the first part of our easel. And then I just took a 1.5 by 4 1/4 inch piece of white stock, and this is going to go across the bottom. I am just going to do a little bit of paper tearing here, and I'm going to create kind of like a ledge of snow, I guess. Let's see if that's good. That's probably good. So I'm just going to add this across the bottom. And you can do this with both of the houses that are in this particular kit. So I'll add this on here. Whoops. Put that right on the bottom. Oh, I stuck my finger. Stuck my finger to it. All right. So that is our easel part of the card. And so for the inside, what I did is I used this little piece on the inside. And then I just cut, let's see, what did I do with my ruler? I don't know what I did with it, but let's see how big this is. This is 3 1/4. So this is 3 1/4 by 3/4 inches wide. So 3 1/4 long. And I'm just going to stamp a little greeting on here, and we're going to put this on the inside of the card. So this is going to hold our easel card open. So I'm just going to use one of the greetings from the set. And the kit came with a little mossy meadow ink spot, but I'm just going to use some old olive. So we'll just put that on there. It's very similar. So let's adhere this to this piece. Maybe. It seems like my glue never works when I go live. Wah! I dropped it. Oh, we'll get that. All right, so this is going to go right in the center. We'll just pick up this extra glue that I have everywhere now. And then we're just going to pop this up because this is what the easel card is going to rest against. That's what's going to keep it open. So you don't want to adhere it flat. You want to just adhere this so it's popped up. It gives a little bit of depth and dimension. I have glue all over my fingers. That's why this is sticking here. So we'll pop this up on the inside. So that'll just go right on the inside. And then this pops up like this. So you have a cute little easel card. So it's pretty simple to put together. And in the kit, they had these little wreath die cut shapes. And you use those to decorate your little house. So I'm just going to put these on my little house here. So these just go on the window. Actually, on 3 of them here. Put this one up. Oop. And like that. There we go. So that's the card. And then on the inside, they had these little stickers that in the kit. there's these little wreath stickers. So I just decided to take a little wreath sticker and just kind of decorate the inside of the card a little bit. So that is what the easel card looks like. And of course it lays flat for mailing. So, you know, you can pop it up for display or you can lay it flat for mailing. So I created that little easel card. And then I did the same thing with the other treat box that was in the kit. I just used the larger house. So this one is a little bit bigger, but it's the same concept. You know, I just added a little wreath and I created the little warm wishes for the bottom here. So it turned out really cute. I was pretty excited about I was pretty excited about these cards. So okay, so those are the easel cards. And then you have this little leftover house. So you have like the back side of the house. So I decided just to create a little, let me move these out of the way. I decided just to create a pretty simple card, kind of the same concept. It's just not an easel card. It's a just standard size card. So I have the back side of the house that I'll just pop up. Actually, I don't think I popped this up. I popped this up. I used that little leftover piece that I cut off the treat box, and I gave my little house a little bit of depth and dimension by just adhering this right on top. So I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. So I didn't want to waste this little piece, and of course it fits perfectly on the house because it was the back side of the treat thing, the treat thing, the treat box. So there you go. So now it gives you a little bit of depth to your house. And I again did some paper tearing. So this white piece is about 1.5 inches wide, and it's 4.25 inches long. So I'm just gonna tear some off. There we go. And then we'll stamp our little greeting on there again. And we will pop this up first. So this is going to go right on the bottom of the card. And I did, of course, some embossing on the card front. So I used the same snowflake sky embossing folder. So that gets popped up. You get a little bit of dimension from that. And then you take this house and you just slide it underneath and adhere it down. So pretty simple. But it's a great way to use up the back side of that little treat container. Okay, and it already has the wreaths on it, so I just left it as is and didn't add any additional wreaths. And of course, you can decorate it with any, you know, any embellishments or other things that you want to put on it. So now I'm going to show you just a card that I created with the exclusive stamp set. So I like to play around with the stamp set that comes in the kit. And so I decided to use this little door just to create this style card. So I started with just a square shape that I used the stylish shape dies to create this. I think it's about 2.75 inches by 2.75 inches. I took some early espresso ink, running out of room here, and we'll just stamp this on the square. So that's early espresso. And then I just colored it in with some different stamping blends. So I have the pecan is what I used to create the brown. So I have the dark and the light pecan. So we'll just kind of go through and color this. I was debating on whether I should color it or not, but during the live, but I'll show you how I kind of colored this. I love using the stamping blends because they're very easy to use. And they kind of do the blending all on their own. And I'll show you what I mean. So this is the light shade of pecan pie. And we'll color in here. And then we're going to go around and use the dark. So that's the light shade. I think, did I get it all? Oh, nope, I gotta go in here. Okay, so now I think I got it all. And now we'll just use the dark shade. So I'm actually gonna use instead of the brush tip, I'm gonna use more the fine point tip. So there's like a brush tip and then there's this fine point tip. Just go around here. Okay, so that was how I basically colored that. And then I just took this and just kind of highlighted different aspects of the door. So I didn't like color the entire door. I just kind of went through and like highlighted little parts of it just to kind of give it like a worn look, I guess you could say. And the dark just kind of blends in with the light. And we can even add a little bit here. So you get the idea. So it just kind of blends in. You don't even have to do a lot of coloring. It'll just kind of soak in there. And then we'll just color these little wreath and stuff like that. Actually, let's use the other one. There we go. So I'm just using Old Olive. This is the dark Old Olive. And then we'll just color these in. So I didn't do a ton of blending. I just kind of colored it in. But I like the blends because they just color it in really nicely. And they don't leave those coloring lines unless you purposely put coloring lines in like I did. But I just really like this. Makes it easy to color. Okay, so that's the basic concept for how I colored this. And then we'll just add the bow. And I used some light cherry cobbler for this. You can use the darker shade if you wanted to, but all right, so that's our little door. Okay, so now we're going to create the rest of the card. So I just have a pecan pie card base. And then let's see what I got here. I got a 2 by 3.5 inch piece of, I use the Joy of Christmas Designer Series paper. It has this really nice plaid on there. So the first thing I'm going to do is just adhere these two together, because I find it's a little bit easier to line it up when I adhere them together first. And then I can adhere this to the card front. We'll just add that right there. So it makes a really nice little focal point. And then I have again, I have the same 1.5 by 4.25 inch piece of white cardstock. So I'm doing the same thing I did like when I created the easel card, is I'm just doing a little bit of paper tearing here. And then I'm going to stamp my little greeting. So let's get that on there. Stamp that. And then this will just get popped up. So I just put this right across the bottom, just kind of so that the torn part goes over the bottom of, what, this door. So I just put that on there. And then I just added a little strip of early espresso cardstock. And this one I just added right across the bottom here, just to kind of dress it up a little bit. And that's really it. And then I took a couple rustic dots. Let's just add those right away. And I just added a couple rustic dots right up here. So I just thought this was a really cute stamp image in this set, and it just made it a really pretty card. So that is one of the cards. Let me move this out of the way here. And then the other ones, so when I created this particular shape, this square shape, I cut it out of a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of white cardstock. So I cut that center piece out, and I used that center piece over here. And then I used the negative space here to create this card. So I stamped this on a piece of white cardstock. So I have a piece of white cardstock underneath this frame, because when you use stamping blends, if I were to color directly on this card base here, you'd see it right through the card base. So I have an extra piece of white cardstock underneath here. But I thought that was a fun way to use up, this negative space, and it creates a really, really beautiful card. So I just love how that looks. So you can create your little square shape and create this card, and then use that negative space to create this one. And then I just have one other alternate idea that I did. And this one, again, uses the door, but instead of doing the door in brown, I did the door in the cherry cobbler. And then I just kind of highlighted different aspects of it with the pecan. So really, really pretty image that came in this set. And I love the saying, obviously goes with it, warm wishes from our home to yours. So I just thought it was really a fun little kit. It was a challenge, I will tell you, it was a challenge to try to create, something with with these treat pouches, but you can definitely create a bunch of different cards. So these are, let's see, these are the regular cards, and then I already showed you the easel cards, so I can try to scoot those in there. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun with this kit. Like I said, I always have an extra kit. So if you didn't get in on this month's kit, just email me, and I do have one extra. Whoever emails me first. um, but it was, like I said, it was fun. It was challenging to try to come up with something some alternate ideas with these little boxes, but I was pretty happy with the outcome. That's one of my favorite things to do with the paper pumpkin kit is just to kind of create a couple of the cards or projects as they're intended, and then I like to take the remaining supplies and just do something different with them. So I hope you guys enjoyed these little alternate ideas. I will get them out on the blog for you. I did link to my blog in the description with this video if you want to go out and check some of the other projects that I've done with past paper pumpkin kits, you can. And I did also provide the link for paper pumpkins. So if you are not a subscriber, um, I would recommend it. I mean, I love to create my own cards. I like to design my own cards. You guys know that. Um, but I, really like the paper pumpkin kit because it's a little bit of a challenge for me to just, um, first of all, I like to create just a couple of the cards, but then I like to challenge myself and then create something different. So I highly recommend the paper pumpkin kit. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a wonderful week. And I will see you guys again next week. So take care, everybody.